When a long-term relationship ends, the physical sensations can feel indistinguishable from a physical injury. The weight in your chest and the sudden inability to focus are the direct results of a high-stakes chemical shift occurring within your nervous system. While you were together, your brain relied on your partner as a primary external supplier for your neurochemical baseline. This circuit was powered by a continuous flow of dopamine, the reward chemical, and oxytocin, a bonding hormone. A breakup causes a sudden, catastrophic severance of that supply. Within hours, your brain goes from a high-level chemical baseline to a state of total depletion. Because your nervous system evolved for survival, it misinterprets this sudden lack of bonding chemicals as a threat to your physical safety. In this state, your brain prioritizes immediate relief over long-term logic. To stop this emergency response, you have to initiate a hard system reboot. This requires a strict 30-day no-contact protocol, giving your internal chemistry the window it needs to reset itself. The first 7 days are defined by acute clinical withdrawal. Biologically, your body is struggling to adapt to the absence of the chemical dependency it formed during the relationship. This chart tracks the internal trade-off. As dopamine levels plummet, your body releases a massive spike of cortisol, the primary stress hormone. In this high cortisol zone, the body remains in constant fight or flight, explaining your chest aches, elevated heart rate, and sleepless nights. Your brain uses this physical pain as a lever. It is trying to stress you into seeking out the drug, your X, simply to make the withdrawal symptoms stop. During the first week, do not focus on healing or closure. Your only objective is to survive the chemical spike without breaking the protocol. By the second and third weeks, the acute cortisol panic begins to fade. However, you now enter a high-risk phase known as the boredom gap. This is a period of neural pruning. Your brain actively dismantles the pathways leading to your X. However, this quiet period is often misinterpreted. People mistake the lack of neurochemical chaos for a permanent loss of meaning, making it the most common time for relapse. To move past this gap, your nervous system requires entirely new data to forge fresh neural connections. This is the time for high-intensity stimuli. Heavy lifting or cold exposure provide the intense physical data the brain needs to build new roads. Think of the boredom gap as an active biological construction site. You aren't just waiting, you are providing the raw material for a new neural map. Between day 22 and day 30, the new pathways you've been building through these novel experiences finally begin to solidify. As these connections strengthen, the persistent emotional fog generated by the amygdala, the brain's fear center, begins to lift. During this final phase, the brain's internal hierarchy shifts. Activity in the primitive emotional center drops, while the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logical reasoning, regains dominant control. You might still feel sad or miss the person, but you are no longer a slave to the impulse to reach out. The desperate chemical urge has been replaced by the ability to choose. The 30-day reset is the mechanism that moves the mind from a state of chemical addiction to a state of emotional autonomy. If you're currently in the middle of this process, log your day in the comments. Let the community remind you that your biology is on your side, even when the silence feels heavy.